From 2011 to mid-2017, SMG4 was a channel based only on humor. It had no story, no emotional moments or anything like that. It was just humor, and excellent humor that captivated thousands of people. Their videos were Mario Bros parodies with a lot of adventures and hilarious and mostly super likable characters. Watching the old videos brings us a lot of nostalgia now. An excellent, hilarious, very original channel that was almost always capable of brightening your day. What could possibly go wrong? You know why I said until mid-2017, right? Because at that time debuted a character who started developing a huge change in the channel. A character that half the SMG4 community loved and half the community hated, both sides with very good reasons. Someone who literally started a revolution in SMG4. Jeeves. No! MEGGY, a custom skin of an Inkling from the game Splatoon, also made by Nintendo. What was the difference between MEGGY and the other characters in the channel? Like I said, the channel up to that point was just humorous, and MEGGY, she wasn't funny. Like I said, a lot, and I mean a lot of people hate her mainly because she wasn't funny, and according to them, she didn't fit in the channel. But for the other half of the fanbase, including myself, she didn't need to be funny to fit in. I'm not trying to say people who hated her were wrong, each with their opinion. With MEGGY, SMG4 wanted to try something different. This character didn't want to be funny. She had other plans. Not only was she a very good athlete, fighter, expert in weapons and in almost everything except for cooking, but also this character had a dream, to win a Splatfest, a tournament of the Splatoon sports that consists on shooting colored ink at your rivals. And that's why Mario helped her training from the day they met, and later Luigi and Terry joined the team. MEGGY was not only a badass, but also a character with a good development, with dreams, goals, and that, at least in my opinion, despite not being funny, she did not affect the humor of the channel at all. For me, in that time, SMG4 made some of their best and funniest videos I've ever seen. A lot of people said MEGGY was bad for being a Mary Sue, a flawless character, and I respect their opinions, but I think she wasn't a Mary Sue, because we constantly saw her training hard to reach her goals. It would be like saying Goku is a Mary Sue. Maybe MEGGY was the reason why the channel started having more story, but not at all of its decline. For me, MEGGY actually improved the channel. Unfortunately, limits exist and Luke and Kevin didn't realize that. Almost 2 years after MEGGY appeared, more story was added in the channel. They added Psycho, a character who also had a development, especially in the episode Lucius Lesson, and of course, they made 2 arcs with story and adventures divided in some consecutive episodes. The Waluigi arc and the Bob the Rapper arc, which never left aside the incredible humor. Truth be told, 2018 was perhaps my favorite year of SMG4, and with these 2 arcs they closed the year perfectly, because I adored these 2 arcs and almost all of their episodes. The year 2019 started well in my opinion, I'm not exactly talking about the first episode though, and a few months later a new arc arrived to the channel. You can basically say the anime arc has 2 parts, since it could have perfectly ended in the episode Mario Saves the Anime, but they decided to continue it for no apparent reason. The first part does not add too much story, it's just an entertaining mini arc, and I think it's good. It's not as good as the Waluigi and Bob arc, but I think it would have been much better if they had ended it there, instead of continuing it and ending such a disaster. But not before delivering one of my favorite episodes ever created on the entire channel. I already talked about final hours in my video of the far worst SMG4 episodes, so I'm not gonna repeat that thanks to it the entire channel went down. I'm just going to focus on MEGGY and Desti. Yeah, you know, Desti died, Goku self-destructed, and Shaggy took everyone away, but Francis's machine exploded and took all the ink out of MEGGY, causing the worst thing that could have ever happened to her. Everything what made her an Inkling disappeared. She became a kind of anime human? Yeah, pretty weird. What is clear is that, for the first time in SMG4 history, someone died, at least an important character. Or 2, I don't know. What do you think? For me there were 3. Or 2, we don't know what happened to Francis then. Why becoming a human made her so bad to me? Well, what happens is I hate her human design, and that's why for me she's the worst character SMG4 ever made. The end. If you really thought I was going to say that, I don't even know what to say. Just because she's now a human, she's bad? Maybe I don't like her design, but she's still the same, right? Right? Where can I begin? There are many ways to start. We could start, for example, with the promise she made to Dusty. She literally told her that she was going to win the Splatfest for her. She promised it. If the Splatfest is so important, if winning it is so important, could someone explain me why during the whole 2019 she did never train again? Literally after the anime arc until Meggy's Destiny we didn't see her training, not even a single second. Maybe she trained off camera, but come on, that doesn't count. Meggy, the Inkling, trained a lot. She was seen in several episodes training, determined to fulfill her dream and improve more and more. Maybe not all the time, but there were often episodes when she was training with Mario. It was a huge part of her personality. It was one of the things that made her Meggy. Her dreams, her goals, training for Splatfest, plus the promise she made to Dusty. This is supposed to be very important, right? Well, then why didn't she train again? Why didn't we see her training again in any episode until Meggy's Destiny arrived? And you know what's worse? 3 months before Meggy's Destiny arrived, they announced that it was going to be the last Splatfest ever. That after that Splatfest, Meggy was never going to train again in her life. Why? There was literally no reason. They basically removed half of her personality because why not? Are you kidding me? Oh wait, it's not just the Splatfest. It's everything. I guess you remember the Inkling. Inkling Meggy was a badass, a character who never stopped not only training for Splatfest, but also fighting and competing in every kind of challenge. My question is, does the human do that? The human stopped fighting, stopped competing in challenges, she obviously stopped training for Splatfest, she stopped doing every incredible thing the Inkling did. But yeah, the fact that she's no longer the Inkling does not make her automatically a bad character. Let's see, what does the human do? Basically, nothing. Nothing! Sure, they involve her in the plots, but she doesn't do anything another character couldn't do perfectly or even better. The human not only lost everything the Inkling had, but she also has no personality, she gets mad about everything, she always hides from problems, she doesn't compete in challenges, she doesn't train for any sport. We didn't even see something about her story, about her past, absolutely nothing. And she doesn't fight. I only saw her fighting like in 2 episodes and in a few scenes. That's not enough. And before you say she's a police officer, come on, she's a terrible cop. Meggy fights with people for total stupidities. She fights against people she shouldn't fight, like her friends, getting mad at any stupidity they do wrong. Food Wars, are you seriously gonna tell me she truly fought in that episode? Yes, she fought for an atomic stupidity. She was totally ridiculous and annoying. The Inkling was a character who started a revolution in the channel because of her totally different personality. On the other hand, the human is basically a worse version of the rest. She's a flat, empty character and she doesn't do anything relevant. They just put her in the episode because of her past fame, I guess, but she literally does nothing other than annoy me. I don't hate her, I just don't like her. And what bothers me the most is that she has nothing from the original Meggy. They took out of her everything that characterized her. Everything! What else are they gonna change? Her voice? Come on.
Too much singing, not enough killing!
Hello? My name is Meggy, and this is my voice.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Nothing but is missing now. How funny, isn't it? I was there like an idiot thinking they had already taken everything out of her, but no, one thing was still missing. Seriously, was it really necessary to change her voice? Which was the intention. What's my problem with her voice? Well, when a character's voice from a series changes, we usually get sad, right? Because we are not going to hear the iconic voice of that character again, no matter how similar it sounds. It's an annoying and necessary change. In this case, it's not even similar, it's a totally different voice. Much more annoying and cringy, and they changed it for no apparent reason. Alright, now I hate her. It's no longer I don't like her, but she's not terrible. No. Now I hate her. Everything is changed. The worst thing is that all these changes are completely unnecessary. The design, the personality and the voice. Well, maybe you can say the design is justified. If you tell me that it's because they wanted to sell merchandise and Nintendo could copyright them, well, maybe the new design has a justification. But this has no justification and this neither. Why did they change her? That's what bothers me the most, that it has no justification. No wait, what bothers me the most is that Luke and Kevin often try to make you see that these two are the same person. Just look at the amount of times they mention that moral about be yourself, or what matters is what's on the inside, talking about Meggy, or even better, watch this scene of Meggy's destiny.
But you never stopped being you. You're just Meggy.
Dude, seriously, shut up!
This is the last time I repeat it. If someone thinks the human and the Inkling are still the same, I totally respect their opinion. This is only mine. I would love you to explain why in the comments though, because, I'm sorry. Are you trying to tell me that these two are the same person? Are you really implying that this girl, after everything what happened, she never stopped being the same? Okay. Just answer this one question. How exactly are they the same person? They have everything different. Everything! The design is different, the personality is totally different in every possible way, and now even her voice is different. The only thing they have the same is the name, but the fact that they are both called Meggy does not mean they are the same character. Are you seriously trying to make me believe that they had always been the same? Do you seriously want me to get into my head the idea that this girl never stopped being the same person she was in 2017? Seriously? Don't make me laugh. As I said, the fact that they are not the same does not automatically mean the Inkling is excellent and the human is terrible. There is a problem. I think the Inkling was 10,000 times better in everything. The design. I personally like the Inkling design much more, but well, this is totally my opinion. The voice. By the way, I don't understand why they used to make jokes about the Inkling's voice was ugly and annoying. I actually liked it. They should only have put her the new voice in the rap battle and then give her back the original voice. Don't leave her the new one. But worst of all, and obviously the most important thing, is the personality. She is not the same. They transform her from a character with a totally different personality from the rest to a character who does exactly the same as everyone else, but worse. From a character who gave us a story and a really good development, to a character who does nothing. From a character who used to face the evil and wasn't afraid of almost anything, to a character who is very easily surprised by everything and who always hides or runs away from the problems instead of facing them. And when she dares to fight, she does it pathetically or is defeated very easily. From a badass with incredible abilities, to a character who does absolutely nothing another character could not do. From a character who made almost every episode in which she appeared instantly better, to a stupidly irritating and annoying piece of trash. From a character who was very important in the channel because of her personality, her story and her development, to a fucking cringe machine. From a character who, despite the fact that she didn't stop fighting and training and took what she did very seriously, at the end of the day she was very nice with her friends and treated them very well. To a crazy ass dick who gets mad very easily, who often fights with her friends over the first stupidity they do, and even destroys the things they like totally out of control like a complete asshole. And from being the character who made an excellent revolution in SMG4, to losing all her incredible personality and becoming a simple, goofy, super annoying character based mainly on humor, like almost everyone else. But her jokes don't work either. And yeah, the humor is also a very important flaw of this character. And it's not like she doesn't make me laugh simply because she doesn't, or because I force myself not to laugh. No, there are actually two reasons why Human Meggy's jokes simply don't work with me. The first one is obviously the forced humor of nowadays. You know, a very slow, childish humor with very exaggerated G-mode and awful sound effects. But it's not only that. Could Human Meggy actually make me laugh with forced humor? Truth be told, yes, she actually could. Mr. Hall Monitor, who is the best possible example, is not even close to being one of my favorite characters. His humor is not forced, it is ultra forced. He always repeats the same absurd joke. But what happens with him is that his humor is so forced that a few times he actually makes me laugh. Seriously, sometimes his humor is so bad that it ends up making me laugh for real. But that doesn't happen to me with Human Meggy. Here comes the second reason. And don't confuse, the second reason doesn't outclass the first reason. In fact, I remember an Inkling Meggy joke that made me laugh, I swear. I can't laugh over Human Meggy because her humor is very forced, and because when I see her making a forced joke, there's something in the middle. There's a kind of barrier that doesn't allow me to laugh. And it's not something inexplicable. In fact, this barrier has a name. Yes, it has. It calls Meggy's pleasure. She herself is what doesn't allow me to laugh. Meggy currently doesn't cause me any good feeling. She just annoys me. She just reminds me of her decadence every time I see her because I can't find anything good about her. And when I see her making a stupid joke, I just can't laugh. I can't laugh with Hall Monitor because he debuted as a humorous character. Plus everything I just said about him. But when I see Human Meggy making those horrible jokes she does, I'm just not even able to laugh. I can't help but think, this is not Meggy. And if it's not this kind of humor, it's that kind of humor. In which case, are you kidding me? Do you really want me to laugh about this idiot getting angry about everything and burning everything she doesn't like? Is that funny? Is that supposed to make me laugh? Is this actually SMG4? I think in this video I got way angrier than usual. But do you know how it feels to have something beautiful? To have something magical? To have something incredible? And that one day that thing simply disappears? It disappears without context, and they even try to make you believe that this thing is still there, when it's obviously not. You know how it feels, right? When Meggy debuted, in fact I didn't know about the channel at that time yet, except for 2 videos. Meggy was amazing. Not only the character herself, but also the fact that such an unfunny character didn't affect the humor of the channel at all. I personally laughed so hard in basically every episode of that time. The fact that they could tell a good story and give development to a character without removing the incredible humor of the channel was just too good. Meggy was one of those gems of the channel back then, like Boopkins and Bob, who made me like the channel so much more. She wasn't funny, but she was amazing. But the human... she's not funny, she's not entertaining, she doesn't have a good development, she suffers from super hypocritical emotional moments, she doesn't have dreams, she doesn't have goals, she's frustratingly annoying and irritating, she treats her friends like garbage, she has no personality, she has nothing. The only thing she does is to annoy, to be there simply to remember me her own decline. She's like Jeeves, but even worse. Yes, she's worse than Jeeves. Jeeves sure was an unfunny, boring, angry ass fork, but at least he had a reason to be angry all the time. Mario always sabotaged his work. They could have made him funny, of course, but at least his anger had a good justification. Human Meggy not only has no justification for doing everything she does, but she also has no justification for having suffered so many horrible changes. None of them are justified. Also, Jeeves was lousy, but at least she was a minor character. Human Meggy is a main character, and she's always going to be there to annoy and remind me of how down she is, as well as the entire channel. She's now having a new series about herself? Wow! I couldn't care less. This character doesn't earn it. This is not the same Meggy she was before. The MEGGY of 2017 always made me happy every time she appeared in an episode. The human just annoys me. She gives me rejection from the channel. She's worthless. I still have resolutions for this to change. But well, this is Luke's and Kevin's channel and they don't need to change her if they don't want to. It's okay guys, do what you want, it's your channel. But then do not complain about the criticisms. Do not complain about there's thousands and thousands of people asking you to do what you used to do before, saying that the channel is down and it's no longer funny or good. And Human MEGGY is simply a small part of all the issues this channel has.